And to lead us into the corporate world, we have Ananthalakshmi ma'am here. She is the head of education and professional services at Essilor Luxottica, alumnus of Elite School of Optometry and Shankar Nethralaya, a person with vast experience in the field of the corporates and a very good friend of ours. Thank you so much, Ananthalakshmi, for joining us. And she's going to be talking to us about opportunities in, sort of the spectacle industry, so to speak.
Great. Thanks, Sharanya and the Acchutha team. Thanks, Gopi, for really following up with me for this talk. Sharanya, actually, I was just thinking, I wanted to be very practical in this session. So what I was just thinking is, before we talk about the opportunities, we talk about opportunities in this industry. Let us understand what is the future of this industry? Because today we are going to have a lot of young minds here who are actually seeing this session. So is there any future for this industry? Because when you look at any employment opportunities today, there is a lot of, I would say a lot of communication myths in terms of this is going to be replaced. There's no future in this industry. There's no future in this job. Having said that, spectacle industry, is there any future? I think that is a basic question we need to answer. Yes, I would say that spectacle industry is on the rise. Okay, and it is projected to reach around approximately around 540 million units per year. So that is in another 7-8 years, we are going to have a huge increase in terms of dispensing of spectacle lenses. Okay, so when you're looking at the value, the current value, it is about 1.5 times more than 1.5 times more than what it is today. So today, if you see an average value of spectacle lenses, it's about $57 billion US dollars, and this is going to increase up to 95 billion dollars. So this itself showcases that there's going to be a huge focus. And I'm not talking about another 20 years or no, because people who are listening to this session, I'm sure you would like to understand what is at least a future for next 7-8 years, because by the time you pass out and come, how is the industry going to be? So in the next 7-8 years, you're going to see this level of impact in terms of the eye care industry with respect to spectacle lenses. So why is this so? Because when you're looking at the other industries, why do you think the spectacle lenses is going to grow very, very drastically? Basically because of the increasing prevalence of the visual impairments. We understand there is a lot of visual impairments, and this itself, and we know that spectacle lenses is the most widely accepted, most common choice for anybody who wants to correct their visual or rather their refractive errors. Aging population, so presbyopic population is also on the rise. Again, people, at least post-COVID, there's a lot of awareness on health. And eye health is also becoming a very important aspect, because post-COVID, we find that there's a lot of increased awareness of UV, blue light protection, a lot of things, So the eye care awareness is also increased post-COVID drastically. And also one important thing is also that all these are possible only because there's a lot of advancements in terms of technology, in lens technology. So if I recollect, because I've been in this industry for past, say more than 20 years, okay, at least in the spectacle lens industry, been in this for more than 20 years. So when I started my career in the spectacle lens industry, it was a cakewalk, because we didn't have many brands, we didn't have many materials, we had very few technologies. But in the last 20 years, I would say in the last 5-6 years, technology is on the rise, so today you have multiple brands, multiple technologies, more than 100 plus patents to all these technologies. So if you look at the growth of the spectacle lens industry as such, it is alarming and mind-boggling. Okay, so I would really assure all the people who are listening to this session that there's really a huge potential in terms of the ophthalmic lens industry as such. Then moving across to the opportunities. So when you're looking at the opportunities in the spectacle lens industry, I can also talk from the point of view because from an Essilor Luxottica point of view, basically because uh, we have a wide range of portfolio. So when you're talking about the portfolio, we have a rich portfolio of both eye care and eyewear brands. So the opportunities are huge. It's very, very high, and when you're looking at the legacy of this company, you have a lot of technologies to back up. There's a lot of design, the distribution, everything is really very, very high in terms of the spectacle portfolio itself. So going by the opportunities which exist, I would say the opportunity exists in almost all departments. Okay, maybe not so in finance, because again, if you have done something more in after optometry in finance, I think you can step your feet even there. But otherwise, I would say there's opportunity almost everywhere in this industry. So let me just give you some examples. So let me talk about marketing. So when you're looking at marketing, you need to communicate. We call this something as a B2B and the B2C communication. What is B2B? From a business to business. So from the company to the practitioner, eye care practitioner, it could be either an optician, it could be an optal, it could be an optometrist. Okay, so who is more confident about communicating the subject to the optometrist, because we deal with a lot of eye care brands and there's a lot of technology and design to back it up. So if you are interested, you can also lay your hands in the marketing department, where there are a lot of assets which is related to the B2B, that is the business to business communication, then B2C from the business, from the eye care practitioners to the consumers. So, there are a lot of technical things where an optometrist can actually decipher it in common language. Okay, so marketing is again a very interesting field. Okay, that is something which we can explore in terms of the eye care industry, in terms of specifically in terms of the spectral industry. HR. Now, we had also optometrists even in HR in terms of recruitments, because you understand the profile of the optometrists, you can help them in onboarding, you can understand their requirements. So HR is again one interesting thing. Again, what I am talking about is just not a direct entry. What you can do is, if you do your optometry and if you want to step into corporate, any corporate, and you want to step into different fields, then you may have to have a lot of further learnings in that field, because you can't just say I will do optometry and then I will try to have a hands-on marketing, I will have a hands-on HR and all those things. If you are interested, you can always spread your wings to these departments also. Then operations. I think operations is something which is very, very interesting, because all of us understand what is dispensing. We've been taught how to dispense lenses in some colleges. I would say in those days, we also knew how to actually grind lenses and cut lenses and fit it into the frames also. So there are some institutes today who do that also. So if you're more confident in all these things, this is a basic thing. You can even lay your hands on operations, wherein you will understand the entire process of the lenses. There will be, of course, further training which will be given to you, but operation is something which you can explore. The other one is also in terms of product heads. So you have various brands. You can also head the brands, because you understand the product more deeply, more from a not only from a technical point of view, but also from a consumer centric point of view. So you could also be a brand head. Then, of course, it goes without saying, if you're having a passion for training, education, you could also be laying your hands in these fields also. And there is also an opportunity in research and development also, though the positions may not be available in India, but there is an opportunity in terms of research and development also. So if you look at on the whole, maybe I would have I would have missed some few departments also, because there are a lot of departments available. You have something called as instruments department, wherein you can actually So how do I actually sum it up? It depends upon the spectacle industry which you aspire to be in. What are the brands? What is the portfolio of that industry, of that spectacle industry? What are the brands they deal with? Your opportunities would be based on this. So if they have a multi product portfolio, like how EL has, Essilor Luxottica has, then the opportunities are huge. So we have optometrists also in the instruments department who actually goes and trains and helps in installations and everything in terms of these in terms of the instruments. So I think the opportunity is huge. The basic thing is you need to understand yourself. It's not about joining a corporate or a spectacle industry. As an optometrist, we have various opportunities. You should understand yourself. Do I want to be in corporate? That is the first question you want to ask yourself. What do you want to do in the industry? Okay. And what are your efforts to go to that place? I think that is something which is very, very interesting. I would say that in the corporate, or rather in the spectacle lens industry, you have a chance to mingle, or rather you have a chance to contact all the eye care practitioners in this industry. So you will be able to reach out to the optometrists, you'll be able to reach out to the opticians, you'll be able to reach out to the ophthalmologists, depending upon the product portfolio. Because currently we have the myopia management, which becomes a very, very important category today, myopia solution. So ideally, if you see, it's a very interesting field. I would only say one sentence, there are few people who want to learn from their own experience. I would say whatever I am today is also the what I have learned from others' experience. So basically, the practitioners who are there out today, it could be Reiki, it could be Adi, it could be anybody whom I would say. The interactions which we have with the eye care practitioners actually grooms yourself, and you become more experienced and confident from others' portfolios. So this is what I thought I would say in a nutshell. Maybe I could answer some questions and then more specifically, and then understand what exactly they want to understand.
Thank you so much for giving everything in a nutshell, ma'am. I think there are not much questions have popped up. I believe we will take up Mr. Ramesh's talk so that you two can together give the
sure.
And so let me take up the opportunity to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Ramesh Pillai, who is an alumnus of Elite School of Optometry and Shankanethalaya. Currently, he heads the training at Titan and Chief Optometrist. And believe me, he's one of the key leaders in terms of Titan, deciding on training the intake like optometrists, as well as you want to do anything in Titan, I think you have to pass through the process along with Mr. Ramesh. So I welcome you, sir, for the session, and over to you.
So very good morning to all of you. Thanks, Dr. Gopi, for that nice introduction. And good morning, Saranya. So first of all, thanks for inviting me for this Inspire series organized by Acchutha Institute. And I think it's a wonderful initiative wherein you are, giving a clarity to the students of optometry. Yeah. I think so before even I start on what is in store in the corporate world, especially in the optical retail, I would like to sort of congratulate all the students who have logged into the session for choosing optometry as a career option, and also for successfully completing their 3 years of theoretical curriculum and qualifying as an intern. So yes, as the first 3 years of your studies has been spent in acquiring knowledge, and the final year is where you are going to really acquire your skill sets. Okay, so this profession is all about not just the knowledge, but it is also about acquiring the, desired skill sets that you require when you pass out from your institute. So my request and advice to all the budding optometrists is to take the internship very seriously, and every posting is equally important. So unless and until you take all your internship posting seriously, uh, it may not you may not even know what is the subject that you like the most. The exposure that you get during your internship can actually help you decide what is it that you want to sort of take up. So I've seen a lot of people, initially they may think that I would like to pursue my career into clinical optometry, and then as they get into the various internship posting, there is a change in thought process, because there are certain postings which have actually given them more insights about that particular specialty, and hence you could change your decision. So hence, treat each and every posting in your internship as seriously, so that there is a lot of learning that comes out of it. Yeah. And yes, there are so many opportunities when you get into internship. It's a mixed feeling. One is you're excited about practicing all what you learned, applying it in your eye examination and optometry workup. But at the same time, there is also some amount of anxiety as to how your career is going to pan out, right? So hence, I would like to leave you all with certain thoughts, which is like for an optometrist, there is a huge array of opportunities which are available today, unlike in the past when we had passed out from our institutes. Okay. So you can choose from anything from practicing on your own, which is being an entrepreneur, to working in a hospital environment, working in an optical retail, pursuing your interest in dispensing optics, pursuing your interest in binocular vision clinic, pursuing your options in instrumentation and diagnostics, right? Research and development, which Anant had mentioned. So there's a whole lot of opportunities which are just going to unfold when you pass out. And I would say that optometry and optometrists are in a golden era where opportunities come knocking at your door today. Yeah. So hence, my humble request to all of y'all is to take your internship posting very seriously and learn as much as you can, because this is the best time that you can actually practice and get your skill sets sharpened. Yeah. And in addition to your technical knowledge, what I would also want you all to focus is on the softer aspects, which is the soft skills which we talk about. Yeah. So it is not important that you be a good optometrist. You also need to know how you are going to promote yourself, how you are going to interact with your customers, interact with your fellow colleagues. So there are a lot of soft skills which we say, which is very, very important for you all to establish yourself as a professional. Okay. So it could be one is the first and foremost soft skill that we would expect from any a person who wants to join a corporate is the communication skills, right? So you may be a good optometrist, you may be doing a good eye test, you may be doing a good refraction, good diagnosis and all of that. But then if you're not able to communicate properly with your customers, with your patients, then it really you are falling short of some important thing, right? Because even if you were to do a history taking, right, even if you were to do a counseling, it is very, very important for you to be a good communicator. So while I say communication, it is also equally important for you to develop those listening skills, because unless and until you listen to what the other person says, your communication could be a one-sided communication, right? So focus on your communication. How can you improve? And when I say communication, it is just not about talking good English. It is about talking any language which the opposite person is able to understand. Yeah. So it is about effective communication, which is language agnostic. Yeah. And always keep your communication simple and easy to understand rather than using those technical jargons, because as optometrists, as medical professionals, we normally tend to, use those technical jargons, which we assume people on the other side should be able to understand, right? But then that's not the case. So hence, we need to actually see how we can communicate in the language which the other person, a common person, can understand. If you're able to do that, then I think that is when you become an effective communicator, right? And the body language aspect, the grooming standards, yeah, how you groom yourself whenever you are in your practice, whenever you are, appearing for an interview. So all that really, is looked into, right? So it is basically the knowledge, skills, and the attitude which normally an industry would look for, a corporate would look for. Yeah, and so I would emphasize on you all also focusing on how can you develop your soft skills during your internship. Okay, observe your seniors, observe the doctors with whom you are posted. How they interact with the patients, how they communicate with the patients, and how they carry themselves so professionally. Yeah, so we all would have some mentors in our life. We all have some role models in our life. So try and observe them, try and acquire certain skills. And there is a lot of time, we learn by osmosis, right? So you look at somebody whom you really idolize, and you automatically start getting some of their, mannerisms and the style with which they, communicate, right? So use this internship to also acquire those soft skills. Okay, now coming down to the optical industry, especially, I can only talk about what we offer at Titan Necklace. So we look at offering optometrists who have completed their bachelor's to join us as a store optometrist, and we give you total freedom as to do your optometry workup, which is right from history taking to doing an ocular examination, external ocular examination, to doing binocular vision assessment, to doing objective subjective refraction, and doing a slit lamp examination, and then finally counseling the customer. So you get a complete liberty to practice optometry in Titan Necklace. Okay, and we will provide you with all the equipments that are required for you to do your complete optometry workup. Okay, except for, yes, the fundus examination and the IOP check is something which we have not introduced, but as situation demands, we would be open to investing in those areas as well, right? And so it is, you enter in at a store optometrist level, and then you have an opportunity to move in as manager, managing the store operations. And if you are interested in pursuing your career in the sales, then you could also, from the store manager, you could move in as an area sales manager. Or if you think, sales is not my cup of tea, but I would want to pursue my career in my core strength, which is optometry, then you could get into, moving up the ladder into a regional optometrist, taking care of a specific region, and taking care of the technical operations. How do we ensure that all the store optometrists end up following the eye testing process, keep the errors to the minimum, and follow the dispensing processes, the CL contact lens dispensing, and all of that, right? And then you move on. If you are interested in training, then we also have opportunities coming up in training. Then you can move into a product management level, product manager or a marketing manager sort of a thing, which is basically to look into how can you bring in products which are highly technical oriented, which is innovative, so that it can meet certain unmet needs of the customers. Yeah, so product innovation is another field, and we are also into manufacturing of frames and lenses. So you could also look at how can you move into contribute towards manufacturing and quality assurance, being a technical person, right? So, and if you really want to ambitious, and if you want to grow, then you could aim for the chief optometrist post, or even a national sales manager's post. So that is the sort of career opportunity which we have. And last but not the least, we would also encourage our optometrists to become entrepreneurs. So if you are wanting to do a business, then we can help you facilitate running the optometry business. Yeah. So that is in a nutshell about, how the career would, look like in an optical retail industry, and especially in an organized sector. So it's all about, at the end of the day, you need to find out what is your passion, and then you need to pursue it. We can only paint a picture as to what we have in store for you, but at the end of the day, you need to figure out what is the passion that you have, what is it that interests you the most, and then pursue it. Yeah. So with that, I would like to end my session, and once again, thanks to Acchutha Institute for inviting me for the session.
Thank you so much, Ramesh. Listening to all the talks since the morning, I'm kind of feeling a little jealous of all the students at the moment. I don't think we had sort of awareness of all these options, and that this was all there in the market at all when we completed. I think we either knew we could practice or work, either in a hospital or some other setup. That's about it. So it's really nice to know that there are so many different options, and then bringing it to the fore. There was actually a question which popped up which said, is there an option to start as an individual optometrist, but later on can we join in with a group or a corporate practice, either as a franchisee or a partner or some sort of thing? So I think you said something like that, right? Where you could facilitate.
Yeah. So we have instances wherein, optometrists who have really performed well and who have shown inclination to, start their own business. So we have actually encouraged them to become, entrepreneur of that particular store. And we have cases wherein, the person started off with one store, and today he is managing about 3 to 4, Titan Eye Plus stores. So yeah, it's totally up to the person, the individual.
I think this is a common question to both Ananthalakshmi and you. How do we join marketing as a field after internship?
So very simple. As I told you earlier, see, once you join a company, you have a lot of interdepartment transfers. So you need to acquire the extra knowledge, So if you can do a marketing course, you can do an MBA in marketing. If you want to do something in HR, you can do an MBA in HR. So ideally, you have to upgrade your skills in that line which you want to follow. So when you join a corporate, you have a visibility of all the departments. You need to continuously learn. So I would say continuous learning is something which is there throughout our life, and we need to do that in our career also. So if you have an aspiration to join a marketing role, then you need to upgrade yourself and then do the needful, and then you can apply for the job. There's an application which is given, and then you will be able to. If you are found suitable, you will be able to go into that department. Yeah, sure. Because there has been a lot of people like that internally also.
So there's another question which says, are there any campus recruitments that you do, or is there any, how do we know about opportunities as freshers to join either Essilor, Luxottica or Titan?
Yeah, very good question. So one important thing is we are planning to have campus recruitments. From time to time, when we have vacancy, we would be calling it for campus recruitments. Second thing is also, if you have an aspiration to join the corporate, my suggestion is you can always write down to HRD at Essilor this thing. Tell them that you are interested to join, and then you can actually, we also have our website wherein you can have careers opportunities also. You can click that, you will have the careers and opportunity. And also from time to time, because we interact with a lot of colleges, from time to time, we also keep the colleges also informed about the opportunities. So today, for like how you rightly said, Sharanya, gone are those days where the opportunities were very less. You could either practice or I mean, independent practice itself was not very popular those days. You could either go into an optical store or maybe do a hospital setup practice. But today, the aspirations and the opportunities are very, very high. So it is very important that the individual actually reaches out to us and then say that you're interested in the corporate thing, and then we can do that. We will also be reaching out to colleges as and when the opportunity arises.
Ramesh?
So just to add, yes, we do, have campus placements. So there are certain, institutes where we have a going relationship. So which keeps, in fact, they reach out to us every year when the batch is about to pass out, and the respective regions would then contact the head of the department or the head of the institute, and we organize the campus placement talks as well as campus interviews. So those of you who have not seen us in your campus, we will be more than happy to visit you all. So please reach out to us. You could mail me on my email ID, which is rameshp@titan.co.in, and we will be more than happy to visit your campuses and take you all, give you all an opportunity to work in Titan Eye Plus. Yeah, so basic things that we look for is, your concepts needs to be very, very clear in your clinical optometry, as well as in dispensing optics and contact lens dispensing. And these are the, 3 areas that we look for. And obviously the right skill sets and the attitude and the willingness to learn. If it is there, then obviously, you will definitely make it to Titan Eye Plus. Yeah. So those are the things that we look.
Yeah, that answers the next few questions that were there. How important is learning dispensing as part of, the 4-year optometry curriculum? Because I think it gets a little bit of a stepmotherly treatment in a lot of places. So I don't know. So I think you answered that question already. And they also wanted to know, what are the options in terms of, you said language skills. There's a question which says, is there a minimum set of languages that you should sort of know to practice?
Okay. So ideally, we would prefer, having people, having the son of the soil, wherever we open, it is ideally we would want to have the person who belongs to that particular city or town to work in that store, because there is a local connect that you have, right? So, but unfortunately, what happens is, we since due to lack of institutes in these tier 2, tier 3 towns, we have to take people from the metros and then depute them in these smaller towns. So smaller towns is definitely an issue, but ideally, if we have people from those towns, then we would want to see how we can provide you an opportunity in your hometown, right? But having said that, there are a lot of students even from smaller towns aspire to work in a metro. So ideally, if you know English, if you know Hindi, that should work. And in South, it is a little more complex. You need to know English, Hindi, and the native language of that particular state. So if it is Bangalore, Karnataka, Kannada is important. Yeah. If it is AP, Telangana, Telugu is important. If it is Tamil Nadu, Tamil is important in addition to English. And in Kerala especially, you need to know Malayalam. So all these 4 states in South are a little bit tricky, but up north, East and West, English, Hindi should do well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And Anant, any inputs on the same question?
I think I will add on to what Rizwana said. Yes, your CV should give you an appropriate exposure to the field which you are choosing for. Another important thing is maybe for a corporate job, willingness to travel would also be a very important aspect because that is something which is very few people are inclined to do. So if there is a need to travel, you may have to travel. That is one important thing. Willingness to adapt, willingness to be flexible. So all those, some of the key aspects is also something which is very highlighted. What you are ready to do, what you are accepting to do. That is something which we will look into. If we find the profile saying that, yeah, ready to travel, willing to learn new things, always interested in new opportunities. So I think these are some of the important characteristics which you demonstrate in your CV, saying that I'm flexible, I'm adaptable, I would like to learn new things. Because you need to understand that, especially the people who are here, you need to first get into a job and then gain your experience. Okay, so as a fresher, you may not be able to develop an excellent resume because you have just passed out. So do you think that I don't be without a job and then after 5 years, still the resume will be zero? So if you, the first step is show with confidence what all you know, what are you all confident as a fresher, and then your key attributes. I think that is what will stand out as a fresher, saying that I'm willing to adapt, I'm willing to learn new things, I'm excited about new opportunities. These are some of the important aspects we look in for a fresher, because we certainly know that you may not have any experience, you have just passed out. We also need to understand the scenario. So if your curriculum, your CV has some of the important attributes, this will be a very important trigger for us to actually call you for an interview, because we look in for such type of candidates. And then of course we will judge you on other aspects of technical skills, your communication skills and all those things, because that comes next. I think your CV has to be selected for an interview. I think that is the first step, and then comes your interview, and then you clear off your interview, and then you get your job. So there are 3 stages for it. So if your CV has to be selected as a fresher, talk about things which you are confident in doing. You may have learned a lot of things in your 3 years or 4 years of optometry, but then you would have your own personal choice or personal favorites of certain departments, certain functions. So you can highlight those. And then when you apply for a job, that department, your interest area and the job which you are planning to go into should match as a fresher. And then your additional characteristics or features of yourself in terms of adaptability, flexibility, and all those things would be an added advantage.
Just to add to what ma'am said, you don't put anything that you are not sure of. Like if you say I'm like good at troubleshooting, then I will ask you, okay, please tell
exactly
me what
I was about to say that. Very good, very nice. I think yes,
scenarios where you did troubleshooting. So if you've done it, put it, otherwise
yes. Don't. Yeah, honesty is very important. I think it's okay to say yes, I am good at this. Don't try to over perform in terms of your CV. Be a little bit practical, because sometimes as interviewers, it's very obvious because your CV itself will show off. So be very careful when you draft your CV.
Thank you. I mean, this kind of insight, I don't think people have when they write their CVs. A lot of it is copy-pasted CVs from those templates which are available, and they're so obvious. So I think this has given a lot of information to the students with regards to what is expected in a resume. Brilliant session so far. Thank you. Thank you so much for all your inputs. Gopi?
And one more thing, Sharani, I just wanted to tell you. So when you actually go for an interview, understand what your job role, what is your role is. I think I would be very frank. Sometimes it irritates when you first of all ask what is your remuneration. You may get like how Razvana rightly said. It's not the remuneration. You may get the highest amount of remuneration, but if you're not inclined to do this job, so you first ask what are your responsibilities, what are your roles and responsibilities in the role which you have been offered to. I think that is something which actually gives a lot of happiness to the interviewer also, that this person is really inclined. I'm just giving you a few tips because we do a lot of interviews, and sometimes I'm giving you our practical feedback here. that it really irritates when you just ask directly for a remuneration without knowing your roles and responsibilities. I think the first thing you should do is to know your roles and responsibilities, see if you are able to fulfill that roles and responsibilities. And then, of course, you can ask your remuneration. That doesn't matter. But the first question should not be always on the role, on the remuneration. Please ask your roles and responsibilities, understand and say, accept it, and then ask your remuneration. I think that is a very important thing to follow.
Thank you.